Thank you, assistant. Okay, recording now.
Okay, well, that's assuming there'll be
excited I
something.
was.
Yeah, that's assuming I'm going to say something that's going to be worth recording. So, big assumption right there. So it's funny. I've actually been trying to bring up this PowerPoint because there's something I want to share a screen with you guys, but I can't get it. So I'm gonna in just a sec here. I'm gonna step. You'll see in just a minute. Anyway. So I'm grateful to be here with you guys. This is something that Denise and I have been talking about for a little while now. And I'm excited to be here with you. I'm grateful that you guys took some time out of your busy schedules and all the things that are going on with your life. And then I'm sure there's holiday stuff that's mixed in there. It is a crazy, busy, but fun time of the year. And I'm grateful for the chance to spend just a little bit of it with you here tonight. And really kind of as I usually, when I do one of these calls like this, I like to kind of frame the idea. What are we trying to get across? What are some of the things that we're trying to, what's the takeaway from all of this? And I think the biggest takeaway from this that I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about, if I can, is this idea that we talked about in Summit this year of everyone matters. And I want you to hear it from somebody who works at the company, a corporate guy, if you will. Okay, that's me. That's why I did air quotes. I don't know why I did air quotes, but I did air quotes. But I'm a corporate guy, okay? And I want you to understand why you matter, and I want you to understand really what your role is in what we're doing and the bigger part of Beachbody and how that translates down to you and you taking care of your life, your family, your situation with your coaching business. So I'm going to start, honestly, the same place that we start at Team Beachbody, you guys. Rarely does any meeting go by when it's a big meeting with executive and stuff, when the mission of our company isn't discussed, to help people live healthy, fulfilling lives, okay? And to reach their goals, live healthy, fulfilling lives. And I think, you guys, that's an important place to start, because to align yourself to that mission of helping people achieving their goals and live healthy, fulfilling lives, to align yourself to that is to align yourself to the mission of the company. And that's honestly where this idea of everyone matters really starts to take off. The power that each one of us have within ourselves to make a difference in the lives of people. And how cool is it that we've got a business that we can empower, we can put in people's hands, that's fairly turnkey, that's all these other pieces with it, but then really at the core of what it is, it's about helping people get results, helping people believe in themselves, helping people. And if we understand really how serious the company is about that, then every single one of you should understand just how important you are to Beachbody and to who we are and what we do. It's an amazing thing to me. When I look back on my life, I'm one of the biggest measuring sticks I think that I'm going to use on the value of the things that I brought into this world. Won't be financial, won't be a lot of those other things. It will be a lot having to deal with the lives that I've had a chance to touch. And I learned that from my grandpa, who passed away about 2 years ago. And he used to come over to my house a lot. Every Sunday dinner he would do one. And what would have been his last Sunday dinner, I didn't know it would be his last Sunday dinner at the time. But he sat at my table and we were talking, and he was looking at my kids running around and being crazy as they normally are. And he looked at me and he just said, "Tim, that's what this is about. It's about your family. It's about looking back on your life and having and invested in people. That's what life's all about." Now, keep in mind, my grandpa was a Harvard MBA. He made a lot of money. He worked for big companies, had a lot of success in his career. And have him tell me that really stuck with me. So I hope we can understand the power of the one. I'm going to share, if I can, real quick, a story with you guys. And to do that, I'm going to hold on. I got to grab a picture because I can't get the share screen to work on my Zoom call.
Everyone who just came in, please mute yourself because it will be an echo on the call. We don't want to hear any background noise. Thank you.
Okay, so these are my kids. It's a little bit older picture. And don't tell my wife you could see my dirty bedroom. She made me promise no one could see it. So this little girl right here, her name is Caitlin. Now, a lot of you know about my kids. My two oldest kids, so right here, Caleb right here. Oh my gosh, you can't see because of the glare. Caleb and Caitlin right there. They have special needs, something called Fragile X syndrome. And one of the things with my daughter, Caitlin, I call her my little girl who lives between two worlds. And she is someone who's, her disability is something that affects her significantly in a lot of ways, but not so much that people kind of give her allowances. They try to go out of their way to help her. And again, this is all in the context. I'm just sharing with you a story again about why everyone matters. And I want you to just remember this as you think about your business, okay? So Caitlin spends a lot of her time alone. It's really hard on me as a dad. When I come home from work, she's usually here by herself watching TV. All growing up, I would come home from work and I would invent errands I had to run because I would just take Caitlin with me. And my wife and I started to get really concerned about this because while girls her age were out playing and doing other things, she just didn't have the social life. She couldn't keep up with kids her age. We would go to her parent-teacher conferences, and her parent teachers would tell us, well, she's a good girl, but we're really concerned about her because she's alone all the time. She eats lunch by herself. She doesn't really play with anyone at recess. She just doesn't have any friends. And they've tried to figure out ways to get her together, and it hasn't worked. And I think those of you that are parents can understand how heavy that was on our hearts, okay? Until this summer. Let me tell you what happened. This is the power of the one. A girl that was in our neighborhood. She was a junior at the local high school. She came to our door and she asked us, she said, do you think Caitlin would run cross country? And we said, I don't know. I don't think so. She doesn't do anything. I'm not sure. And this girl, her name was Sarah. Sarah said, if you can get her to run cross country, if you can get her to agree, I will take her and I will put her on the team. And my wife and I were looking at each other. We're like, okay. So I went to my daughter, Caitlin, and I said, Caitlin, what if you ran cross country? No, Daddy, no, I can't run cross country. I can't run cross country. And I'm feeling like this could be something for her if we could get her to do it, because if she's out running cross country, she's not trying to talk with other girls and she's not having to try to keep up or feel awkward socially. I thought this is something she could do. So I pressed. I said, Caitlin, I really, really think that you should run cross country. No, Daddy, no. And I was like, okay, my daughter, you have to understand. My daughter, with my back in the corner, she's not gonna come out. So I thought, okay, so what am I going to do? Well, one of my daughter's biggest loves in this world is clothes. She loves clothes. So being smart, I guess, it's not kind of smart. It was probably my wife's idea, come to think of it. But I went to my daughter and I said, if you run cross country, you can go to the Nike store and you can buy 2 running outfits. She goes, what do you mean by outfit? I said, you could get a shirt, 2 shirts, 2 shorts, 2 socks, and 2 shoes. And then it was over. Okay, we're running cross country because she wanted the clothes. So we went and got all the clothes, and starting that next Monday, every single morning at 6:15 in the morning, this angel named Sarah would come to our house, would pick up my daughter, and would take her to the cross country practice. She would put her arm around my daughter. She helped my daughter get involved. She helped my daughter get plugged in. And the first time we went to a cross-country meet that my daughter didn't want us to go to, but we snuck into the stands. And I watched her run that race, which is another story in itself. But as she crossed the finish line, and there was Sarah. My daughter came in almost last, but there was Sarah, who had brought the rest of the team there to cheer on Caitlin to cross that finish line. As she came across that finish line, and they all hugged her and they congratulated her. It's hard to explain, but there was just a moment of peace that my wife and I hadn't felt in a long, long time. When we were able to kind of put down that burden of worry about what's going to happen with her. Is she going to be okay? We thought, maybe she's going to be okay. Like things are going to work out for her. It'll be okay. Now, why do I say that? Because it's the power of the one. Everybody matters because each one of you, your life experiences have positioned you to reach people that other people haven't been able to reach them before, okay? They have uniquely qualified you to reach people in a way that will change their life. But that requires you to make decisions. That requires you to stay actively engaged. That not only is it it's required to grow your business, but you guys, it's a way to be part of the mission. Everyone matters. We need everyone because when everyone's engaged, when everyone's focusing on helping people get results, when everyone's laser focused on, promoting the challenge packs and talking to people and meeting needs and getting to know people and connecting with people and helping them do that, you guys, it's a great way to build an incredibly rewarding business that you'll leave a legacy behind. Okay? Everyone matters. You matter. And the decisions that you make matter. They matter to your family, and they'll matter to the people that literally are out there waiting for you to find them. You won't find them if you wait, though. So I want to transition a little bit now into this call around this. Everyone matters. Okay, that's a great idea. I get the concept, but what do I do? There's a couple things I'm going to share with you. Okay, the first one I want to talk about is I want to suggest something to you, and that is one of the biggest things that usually, in my experience, holds people back from growing. Okay, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, is their mindset. Okay, chances are most of you on this call have grown up most of your life with an employee mindset is the word I use. And an employee mindset is really ingrained in us, okay? An employee mindset, let me kind of describe what it looks like to you. Maybe you can identify with some of this. But it's where the problems always seem to kind of be out there, right? I go to work, I put my time in, I do the things I'm supposed to do. If there's a problem, someone needs to tell me what they need to do to fix it. The ownership's always out there. We're waiting for permission to engage in certain things. I don't do things unless I'm told specifically what I need to do. I stay within this little box that I've created for myself where it's safe, where it's secure. I don't look to put myself out there. I don't really own what I do. I'm just trading time for dollars. And the game is to get as many dollars for your time as you possibly can. Okay. Now, I want to contrast that now with an employee, with an owner mindset. An owner mindset, instead of everything being external, everything is internal. Everything is internal inside of ourselves, and it is a different way of thinking. And if you're not cognizant of this, chances are you're applying employee thinking to your business when you should be applying business owner thinking to your business, okay? Let me give you some examples. A business owner, okay? A business owner. I went several months ago. I like to use this example because people tend to be able to identify with it. Several months ago, I was on the road traveling and I saw Chipotle, and they don't really have many Chipotles here in Utah, and I was really excited. I wanted to go to Chipotle, so I went to Chipotle, and I went through the line and everything, and I got the end, and the guy that was to take my credit card was super nice. Did you get this? How was your experience? What was this like? How was this? Did you try this? Just really, really engaged. So much so that after a few seconds, I was like, okay, this isn't the normal, hourly employee just looking for me to get my card and then get the heck out of the way. And so I started talking to him, and as a break in the conversation, I went to ask him or talk to him, call him by his name, and I looked down at his name card, and underneath it had the word proprietor, owner. And I thought, makes sense. Okay, we treat our business different when we feel like we own it than when we're an employee of it. Sometimes we own our businesses, but sometimes we actually act like we're employees in our businesses. We're waiting for someone to give us permission. We're waiting for someone to tell us what to do. I just don't feel very motivated today. I'm not going to really worry about that's employee thinking. Okay, I'm waiting for this month. It's kind of been kind of hard, so I'm just going to kind of float until we get to the and then I'll kind of check into it. That's employee thinking. Okay, that's the problems out there. The things are out there. I'm going to wait till the conditions are right, till I'm told that I'm right, till things happen are right, till things are lining up, and then I'm going to engage. Business owners think differently. Business owners approach things from an internal perspective. I make the time right for my business. Okay, I make the time right for me. Okay, I don't wait for permission. If I need answers to something, I go find them. If I'm looking for something, I go find them. If I need to hit Success Club every single month, then I hit Success Club every single month. And I don't complain about it. I don't whine about it. If I know that that's what I need to do to be successful in my business, then I put a plan together, and every single month I hit Success Club with my business. Why? Because I'm the owner of this business. This business is an extension of me. I'm not an employee of this business. Okay? To help you guys think through that, I'm going to break it down to 3 specific situations for you. The first one, to think like a business owner, I want you to check yourself first on how you handle doubts, both external and internal. Now, external doubts are easy. How do you respond when people express doubts on what you're doing? You guys, I don't care who you are. Any successful entrepreneur is going to be surrounded by people who are doubting them, because chances are your current life, what got you in the situation right now, is going to be pushing you one way, and chances are that's not a way towards independence, financial independence, business ownership, and entrepreneurship. Chances are, okay? Speaking generally. So how do I handle external doubts? Let me tell you what employees do. Employees go like this. You know what? They're probably right. That's a good point. They're right. I've been trying this, hasn't been working. I put myself out there, it didn't really happen. They're probably right. Again, other people are now defining my reality for me as an employee. do business owners handle that? They understand, they give room for people to have their own doubts, but their inner conviction to what they're doing presses forward. Their inner conviction gives them at least enough belief, even if it's not complete belief, but enough belief that they can start, that they keep going. Okay? They might not have it all figured out, and you're not going to have it all figured out, and that's okay. But what the determination, the conviction inside of you is, I am worth it enough, and it's worth it enough to me to keep pushing forward to try to plow through this state. And I'm going to figure this out, because I'm not going to give the power to someone else to define me or what my situation is going to be. Okay? If you think about any successful entrepreneur, and there are thousands of these stories, one of the common things they all have is they had to make this business owner mindset shift, and they all faced external doubt when they had to push through it. Okay? And I wish it was only one time, but you're probably going to have to push through it again and again and again and again. The only time they're going to stop doubting you, the only time when they're going to stop doubting you is probably on your birthday. And then you're going to make $10,000 a month, and then they're going to doubt you again. How long is it going to last? What are you going to do with this? And you're just like, if you're trying to define yourself and your success by the lack of doubt around you, you're setting yourself up for failure. That's employee thinking. Okay? Internal doubts. I want to talk about those. How do business owners handle internal doubts? They have them, like everybody else. They have them. But how do they handle them? They view internal doubts as almost motivators to try to prove to themselves the things that they have concerns. They wonder, but they're like, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure out how this is. If I have doubts or concerns about myself, I am going to figure that out. I'm not going to let myself settle. I'm not going to let myself run away from this. I'm not going to live my life afraid of what coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm going to figure this out. And they handle those internal doubts in a very, very measured way. Does that make sense? A very, very measured way where they recognize that the doubt exists. They recognize that the fear is okay. That's all right. But what they don't do is they don't let it stop them. They have a plan in place. They do something where they keep going, even if you feel like you're just faking it for a minute. Even if for just a minute you're like, okay, I don't really know, but I'm just going to kind of put on this face and I'm going to keep going. Because let me tell you something about faking it. You're not faking it. You're not faking it. You're investing in yourself. You're taking unknown steps forward and looking and finding out what it looks like. That's what faking it is. Okay? That's what they do. I'm going to be here till like 10 o'clock tonight, so that would be midnight your time, so I should probably keep going. But so the first one, doubts. How do I handle those? Employee thinking versus external thinking. The second one, obstacles. How do I handle obstacles? Again, employee thinking. What do? We get in front of obstacles. Oh my gosh. Oh, what happened? Oh, I was going to go for Success Club this month, and then my tire blew on my car. My neighbor's dog, ate my challenge pack. Then my mom called me, and my brother, did something. I don't know what it was, you guys. I mean, you guys know all the excuses you guys have always heard. Obstacles. Life happens. Excuses come up, right? That's going to happen. Expecting your life to not have obstacles, guys, come on. I mean, let's be honest with each other. So if we know they're going to happen, how are we going to handle them? Again, employees, I let them stop them. Why? Because the problem's out there. I don't own the business. The business owns me. It gets to define me, not the other way around. So how do business owners handle obstacles? Business owners handle obstacles like they're just part of the game. It's just part of the process. Stuff comes up. Okay, great. The term that I use all the time, Denise will probably get sick of me hearing and say it here, but control the controllable. We got an obstacle here. What are the things we can control? What are the things we're going to put together to go after those things, to get those things fixed? It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter, honestly, guys, exactly what you do in those moments more than actually getting it done, to start to keep going. Why? Because obstacles, guys, are inevitable when we're doing new things. Obstacles are inevitable when we're working with people. And so how do we get better? By pushing through obstacles. When time gets tough, we keep going. Okay? We don't wait. When things aren't going to plan, we don't throw up our hands and walk away. You learn the most in the times when things are hardest. And so for us to grow, we have to have that same approach to obstacles in entrepreneurship. And then the last thing, kind of your business owner mindset check, if you will, is success. How do you handle success? That's going to show an indication of where your mindset is. Give you an example again, employee thinking with success. It's a very selfish thing. It's very internal. Oh, look what I did. It's celebrated. Oh, look at this. It's lights that shine on me, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being appreciated and accepting that. But what business owners do is they very quickly go, how can I turn some success into more success? How can I turn this and leverage that into more success to elevate belief? I'm recognizing people on my team. I'm recognizing the small things that I want to do, the small things that I want my team to engage in, so I can turn that little success and leverage it into bigger success, okay? How can I treat success so it's not just a one-time thing, but that I can benefit from it over and over and over and over again? Okay, so those three things. Mindset, how do you handle doubts, internal and external? How do you handle obstacles, okay? And how do we treat success? Think about those things and how you handle those. Think about what your reaction is. That will give you an indication of where your mindset is in areas that you can then create for yourself, or opportunities you can create for yourself to get better. One of the best ways that I found to help people build and develop the habits to sustain a business owner mindset, okay? Which again, bringing this full circle, that mindset is how we are going to reach everybody. How we're going to reach and make a huge difference is people taking ownership of their business, okay? Because everyone matters. Everyone matters, okay? Including you. You matter, right? So one of the best ways that I found to do this is through goal setting. And now at this point I said goal setting and half of you are like, oh, goal setting, yeah, okay. Now, let me tell you the power of goal setting real fast, okay? One of the key pivot points, I've already told you one of them, is mindset, thinking like a business owner. Another one of the key pivots that all successful people have in common is self-discipline. Is the ability to discipline their thinking and their actions towards the direction they're trying to go. That's one of the reasons why, if you know successful people that seem to be successful in everything that they do, 90% of the time, in my experience, is because their mindset's different and because they are very disciplined people. They have the ability to align their actions to their outcomes. We can learn that. How do you build that? It comes real simple. You have a goal. You set a goal for yourself. Not a long-term goal. Long-term goals are good. Those are like your North Stars that give you general direction. But I'm talking 4 to 8 week increment goals. Because those kind of shorter term goals within the next month or 2 months, it's really easy to tie your actions today to achieving those outcomes, which is really, really important with discipline. Discipline comes when you have a purpose to the actions that you're doing every single day, right? So you have to own your goals. To have a business owner mindset, one of the key things is to learn how to own your goals. So here's what I would encourage you to do. Some takeaways now for you. The first thing, obviously, is to have a goal and make sure that you understand why that goal matters to you. Okay. If you're someone who really wants to achieve a certain rank because you like recognition, own that. If it's an income thing, own that. Whatever that goal happens to be, own that goal. Make sure it has purpose behind it. It's tied to your why, if you will. It has purpose behind it. And then I want you to write down a statement of belief. And this statement of belief, honestly, guys, it's brainwashing for yourself, okay? Where you are telling yourself, you are giving yourself a statement of, I am going to achieve this, or by this date or something, some kind of a statement that affirms your commitment to that goal and your belief in your ability to achieve that goal. Why do we do that? Because, guys, when we can write that down, we can articulate that, you will see what happens. It starts to escalate your ownership of that goal. The more that you can take a goal from just an idea in your brain or something you've kind of, conceptualized and thought about, or maybe talked to someone about, and the more that you can start to write about it, to create vision boards about it, to give it form and structure. These are the first steps to actually taking that dream and actually making it a reality for yourself. It's like these beginning steps around it. And so writing that statement of belief starts you down that path already to owning that goal, to achieving that goal, to thinking about that goal like a business owner, like nothing's going to stop me. This is the way I'm going to do this. The second thing you want to do is you want to have a simple action plan, guys. On this call, I've talked a lot about mindset stuff, things that happen between your ears. And that's really, really, really important. Okay. It all starts there, to be honest with you. But at the same time, if we don't have a clear action plan of what we're going to do, it's going to be tough. You guys all know, you'll get on calls like this, you go through training, and you're really in touch with your why, and you're feeling really motivated, and you seem really good. Here's my goals, and here's what I'm going to do. And then you wake up the next day, and you're like, why was I so excited about that last night? I don't remember why I was so excited about doing that. That doesn't make as much sense to me anymore. And you lose it. Why? Because the fog of life kind of starts to come in. And the obstacles and the work that's going to take, all that kind of comes in. And pretty soon you're like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to do that. How do we avoid that? Okay. We avoid that by giving ourselves clear starting points. Jeff Hill always says to us, it's the start that stops most people. And so have a goal. Get excited about that goal because it has purpose behind it. Have a statement of belief about your ability to achieve that goal and what it's going to mean to you when you do. And then write a simple action plan. Emphasis on the word simple. Here are the things that I'm going to do every single day to get to that goal. Here are the things as a business owner, as the owner of my business, here are the things that I'm going to do that I can control every single day to get that business. And keep it simple, guys. Don't give me like 55 things or 25 things because you know and I know that's not going to happen. Give me 3 things, non-negotiables you're going to do every single day. Whether it's in a power hour or it's something else, because I promise you, 3 things every single day is a heck of a lot better than 10 things once a week. Okay? And so have that action plan. Then the third thing, okay, is to then hold yourself accountable. And why do we do that? Because guys, disciplining, learning mindset, building habits, self-discipline, you guys, is not easy. We're building habits. And accountability is how we turn our good intentions into really powerful business habits for ourselves. And so we've got to be accountable. So don't be the coach that makes your coach chase them for accountability. Go to your coach and say, here are my goals. Here are the things that I'm going to do every single day to get that goal. And will you please call me every Thursday at 12:30 to check in and make sure I get those things? Okay? Be accountable. Be accountable to someone else and be accountable to yourself. At the end of every day, a thing I teach coaches, I apologize, some of you probably heard this. I'm trying not to drag out all the same material all the time, but I guess, it's what works. So we'll just share it anyway. But what I teach them as far as personal accountability, okay, which is a key thing in learning how to lead yourself, is at the end of the day, I just want you to do a concept called winning the day, which is real simple. At the end of the day, I want you to find 5 minutes. I see some kids on there. So moms, dads, if you have to lock yourself in the bathroom, get in the car, drive down the street. If you have to do something to get 5 minutes by yourself, find it. Clear your mind and ask yourself a simple question. Did I win the day? And to answer that question, you're going to go back to those controllable actions that you talked about. And you say, did I do those things? Not as much about the outcomes, but did I do those things? Did I do them first? Did I do those things? And if you did, then you won the day. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself some congratulations. Celebrate a win. Create that positive momentum in your business by giving yourself that win. And the next day you wake up and try to win the day again. If you lost the day, if you didn't win the day, don't beat yourself up about it. That doesn't do you any good at all. Okay? Find out. Ask yourself an honest question. How to get away from me? Is this something I struggle with all the time? Does this happen all the time? And then make a simple plan how you're going to win the day the next day and go to bed with peace in your heart and clear mind and wake up and win the day the next day, you guys. I know it sounds so simple, but guys, that's just how it is. That's how we do this. And when you start to think like that, when you train yourself and build habits and discipline to think that way, it changes the way that you approach your business. You feel empowered, not just kind of this whimsical victim to whatever happens to come across your Facebook page. You feel like you can take ownership of your business and what comes next, okay? And it won't always be easy. Some of you have this much belief and faith in yourself, and some of you have like this much belief and faith in yourself, and that's okay. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. Whatever you've got, lean on it. Be true to that faith, that belief in yourself that you've got. Own that, lean on that the best that you can. And if you have to fake it a little bit, understand, just keep going because it's not faking it. You're just doing something new and you're going to build up. The more you fake it, the more you're going to learn to trust yourself, okay? Because the other option is just to stop, and we don't want to do that, okay? So that's the idea. And as you continue to do this, you guys are going to find something. People always tell me all the time, how can I get my team momentum? How can I get things going? What do I need to do? Well, guys, if that's you, I'm going to give you a simple formula that I tell people from time to time. When others stop, you don't. Okay? When others walk, you run. When others run, you sprint. And when others are sprinting, you just make sure you win. Okay? And that's kind of how you start doing it. So right now, maybe no one else is walking with you. Okay, you walk. If your leaders start to walk with you a little bit, great. You better be running. If the leaders start to run with you, that's great. You better be sprinting, okay? And if your leaders are sprinting with you, you just better dang well make sure that you're beating them, okay? And it's kind of funny. No matter where you at, you can kind of apply that, you guys, and that's kind of how you start to build that momentum. And the nice thing about that is it puts it right in your hands. You're the business owner. You think that way. What can I do? No one else gets to hold my business hostage for me. I can control that. That's going to be my approach. So the last thing that I'm going to mention, So we went through some simple things as far as like goal setting, the importance of that to be able to kind of create this business owner mindset, build up this momentum. The last thing I want to talk about is the importance of results. Okay. One of the things that leaders do is leaders get results. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be perfect, and it doesn't mean you're going to get the best results all the time. But leaders expect results from what they do. When the leader brings home results, it elevates the belief of the entire team. Does that mean the leader has to be perfect? Absolutely not. But as leaders, we should expect our efforts to generate results for our business and for ourselves. As much as we all love each other, you guys, this is not a country club, right? We're business owners together, okay? And so the purpose of this in reaching people, the mission of the company, okay, is results driven. Meaning, it's good to have good intentions. It's good to have all these things. It's good to have goals, but we need to make sure that we're expecting results from ourselves. Okay, so that might mean, as we look at it, we need to increase our discipline. We sometimes it means we just need to stay the course. Like we're doing the right things. We just got to keep going until people kind of catch up. We get traction, right? And it means sometimes we need to make small tweaks to what we're doing, and that's okay. It's not a reflection on us. The goal is then, though, to get results. All right. I know it's not easy. Okay. I don't mean to make it sound like it is. These calls are always tempting to kind of walk away. You're like, oh, wow, he just made it sound so easy. I know it's not, you guys. I know it's not, especially this time of year. Okay. This time of year, there's lots of distractions. There's lots of things that are happening. And there's lots of reasons why you could check out. And honestly, a lot of people in your life would go, yeah, I get it. No, yeah, you deserve it. You're good. Worked hard. But that's not business owner thinking. It's employee thinking. Finding the easiest way out, the path of least resistance. That's not smart. That's employee thinking. The business owner should say, what's the best thing for my business right now? I think the best thing for our business right now is that we find a way to be consistent throughout this time of year, that we find a way to continue to find people who are looking for what our business has to offer, that we reach those people, that we make sure that we're continually putting our business out in front of people so that come January, when a lot more people are looking to make these decisions, that we've been out there enough that we get more customers, we get more coaches on our team, okay? Planting seeds, absolutely, Elisa. One of the things that I want to mention, I'm going to leave you with is just one more story. Denise said I should share a few stories, and it doesn't take me much encouragement at all to share stories. I'll do it all day long and bore you all to tears, but I like to tell stories. But the story I want to share with you real quick to end here is about perspective, okay? About perspective, about doing hard things. Because we are doing something that's not easy. You are a unique group of people that not everyone does what you want to do, okay, that you're trying to do. But it's worthwhile. I've run several marathons, let's say that, okay? And without fail, the hardest part of the marathon for me, without fail, is mile 18 and mile 19. I get to that point in the marathon, and I think it's because I'm not quite into the 20s yet, right? Because the marathon's 26 miles. I'm not quite in the 20s, because when you get to the 20s, you're like, oh, I'm almost there, I'm in the 20s, right? But by mile 18, mile 19, you've just been running a long way. Like, I'm 3+ hours into this, and I'm like, what the freak am I doing? Like, at what point in my life was this a good idea? Like, I consider myself a semi-intelligent person, but here I am, 3.5 hours running, and I'm still not close to the end of this stupid race. And I find myself literally having thoughts like, I'm done. Like, most people are going, you ran 18 miles, just finish it. In my mind in that moment, I'm like, I'm good. I'm just going to go home. I'm finished. And it happens every single marathon. And I have to put my head down and just be like, no, you got to just keep going. You got to keep going. You got to go. The hardest time that ever happened to me, though, was my first marathon. And some of you heard me tell that story, and I won't share that story here. But my first marathon, I had run a few bonus miles, for those of you who haven't heard it. So I was a little bit longer. But the first time I hit mile 18 in my marathon, I thought my world was coming to an end. I was like, no. And it was, those of you who heard that story, it was just because of why I was running that marathon that I just kept going. And I felt like literally I had descended into one of the levels of Dante's Inferno, levels of hell. And I was just never, ever going to get out of this marathon. Like it was going to be my eternity. In subsequent marathons, every time I get to mile 18, it's still there. But the difference is now I've got the benefit of experience where my rational brain can tell my irrational, in the moment, emotional brain, you just got to keep going. You know what's going to happen. You're going to get there. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Don't think about it. Do the things you know how to do. Stay to your pace. Do your game plan. Keep going. I know it sucks. I know it's hard. But the idea of checking out just doesn't make sense. And so, and so in each subsequent marathon, it's a little bit easier to get through that stage. Okay. So what does this have to do with you guys? You guys are going to hit mile 18s in your business from time to time. A lot of you are probably hitting that this time of year, especially those that have been pushing all year long. And you're like going, oh my gosh, like for the love of Pete, there's 3 weeks left. Can I just be done? Yeah, you can. It's your business. Okay. No one's forcing you to do it, just like no one forces me to run those marathons. But here's a question for you. Are you a business owner or are you an employee of your business? Because the business owner is going to look at mile 18 and go, okay, it's kind of hard right now. But when everyone else is stopping, I'm going to walk. And when everyone else is walking, I'm going to be running. And a few people on my team that are running, I'm going to be sprinting. And if I have anyone sprinting right now, I better dang well make sure I win. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put my head down and get to work because I want to be the kind of business owner that has the discipline that when things are hard or aren't ideal, I keep going because I'm the kind of business owner that wants to show and demonstrate to my team that that's what a business owner does. And because I'm the kind of business owner who wants to prove to myself that I'm committed to this, that I can make this happen. And sure, no one else is going to see and no one else is going to judge. I can put on the show on Facebook. I can put up the veneer of activity and just pretend like, oh, it just was a hard month and I really wasn't engaged. Or I can really work my business. I can obviously set aside time for my family and do things that are more important in life, but gosh dang it, I know there's time in there that I can work this. And I promise you right now, that discipline during these times, during those mile 18 moments of your business, and you'll have some during the year, not just at the end of the year, but during the year, you will grow the most in that time as a leader and as a coach. So I hope you'll do it. I hope you're strong and go into 2016 with a lot of momentum. And I don't know why we couldn't have a bunch of elite coaches on this team. You guys are great. So thank you, Denise. I've been rambling probably 10 minutes longer than you wanted me to, but I was just excited to be here. So I just kept talking. So
No,
anyway.
thank you so much. I think a few of us here are in tears because we can definitely relate to having those times where, I mean, I for sure have wanted to quit.
Yeah.
Definitely with that mindset of just, I have to keep going. And I know that we have so many of us on this team that, you hit it right on the nail where we have these obstacles put in our place. And I know that a lot of us here have had thoughts of quitting, but we keep going.
Yeah.
So I think that you spoke about everything that we've been either dealing with or thinking about or
well, honestly, guys, if right now you look at your business and you don't have a game plan you're following, that's where you've got to start. You've got what's my goals, what's my game plan, and be disciplined in those pieces. Don't try to eat the elephant all at one bite. If you kind of walked away from this, okay, so what's the goal that I want to hit before the end of the year? And don't make it some crazy goal. If you're a 2-star, don't be like, I want to be 15-star by January. Come on. But make it a goal because the value here is that you're progressing and you're disciplining yourself. So if you don't have a goal and if you don't have a game plan in place, that's where you start. That's where you start. Those 3 points I talked to you, that statement of belief, followed by the action plan, followed by accountability. That's where you start. And those other pieces, guys, that's mindset. Just remember those things if you can as you go, okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. No. I promise I'll be quiet.
No, but that's perfect because definitely moving forward now into the new year especially, I mean, we've been talking about the importance of setting those goals. And that's what absolutely did it for me this past year was the training that you provided us. And I took it very, very seriously, that elite goal guide and making sure that I had very specific, clear goals set for myself every single month moving forward. It definitely made a huge difference because I felt like I had direction and I knew exactly what I needed to do on a daily basis in order to reach my goal.
Yep. You guys, if you can build your business to the point where you have 2 to 3 other personally sponsored coaches in Success Club, where you're enrolling 2 to maybe 3 coaches a month, that's the volume side of becoming elite if you do it all year long. Okay. So if you've got that and you can build to get to 5-star, you can be an elite coach. The elite gets hard when you don't start working for it until August. Then it gets tough. But if you start laying it out, I mean, even if next year you go for Premier and you step yourself into elite. It's going to be really crazy to you guys to see what happens. Okay. This is an elite team. Okay. Barring a few weeks, this is going to be an elite team, and you're going to see something that happens when an elite team happens. Denise's job over here is I tell her this all the time. Her job is to bring success closer to her team. Because right now, you guys all see elite as being something that happens kind of over there and to other people and other things like that. Well, when you guys become an elite team, now all of a sudden elite is part of who you are. And now all of a sudden you guys are going to start to see yourselves, I hope, in a different light. That business owner mindset will kick in. This is who we are. This is how we run. And a couple of you are going to say, you know what? I'm going to go for this. I'm going to push this. And I promise you, if you start in January with a plan, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. Okay. But you can't wait till August. You got to start in January with a plan. Again, skeleton, 2 to 3 PS coaches in Success Club every single month on average. 2 to 3 people that you've recruited every single month that come in. Okay. And that do a normal amount of volume. That's a real simplistic way of doing it. But what we're going to be releasing to you here pretty soon, the goal guide, I think it's out there. I'm putting a training together this weekend that I'll shoot out to everyone how to actually use the goal guide. But if you make a plan, you can go do it. But it's a decision that you have to make. Again, business owner mindset. This is something that I want for my business. I'm not waiting till Denise calls me and says, you should do elite. I'm going to decide that I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to put the plan together. I'm going to ask Denise for help. I'm going to ask my coach for help. Help me understand how to do this. But I'm going to take that on. Dang it, at least there I go. I mean, Denise talking again nonstop. So.
No, thank you. Kim, do you have time for one question?
The only thing that's waiting me is 30 young girls from our church group outside those doors. So I'm not in any hurry to leave the sanctuary of my bedroom right now.
Okay. So if anybody wants to just put in the chat, if somebody has a question or raise your hand, we got him now. So
me.
Oh,
me. That's not that I'm asking something. Well, I don't want to ask. I just want to say, Kim, that hi.
Hi. I'm trying to see who's talking.
Elisa. I'm right here.
Hold on, I got to change the view. So, there we go. Okay.
There she goes in the bottom.
So,
there she is. I just had to change. I had the Brady Bunch tiles up, so I had to switch.
No, I just want to say thank you because I remember when you told us to only control the controllable, and I keep that in mind every single day. Sure. And I remember when you told us the story about the first marathon. So whenever I feel like giving up or shaky or that the day didn't go as I planned it, or the year is not going to end as I planned it, I think about that story, believe me or not. And, and it keeps me going. So you made me cry a lot that day, but it's in me, and it pushed me every single day. And at the end of the day, I said, did I win the day? Like Kim says, yes or no. And then I move forward from that. So thank you.
Awesome. No, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad it was helpful to you. Just keep going.
I will, definitely.
Awesome. I just realized that I stepped in dog poop. Sorry. That's why I'm looking down. I kept smelling something during the call. I was like, what is that smell?
It's okay, but did you win the day?
I took my shoe off and I realized I stepped on dog poop outside. So it's now all over my carpet. My wife is going to kill me.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm really glad you're recording this, Denise. This is horrible.
But did you win the day?
I did until I stepped in dog poop. So aside from that, it was great.
Okay, good. Does anybody else have any questions so that Kim can go ahead and
if you dare. Just be glad this is Zoom and there's not in person. It would be a lot more uncomfortable.
I think that means good luck or something. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just say it's a good luck charm for the rest of the week.
All righty. So I don't know if I think everybody's being shy. Okay. All righty. So nobody has any comments or questions. Well, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate you taking the time on an evening when you're home. And I really appreciate that everybody, we have a really huge
great turnout tonight.
Great turnout. And that tells me a lot. It tells me that everybody here really is invested in this and that they truly believe in what we do. Because it really does take a lot to be here on an evening, right?
I agree.
Day evening. So I really appreciate it. And I think we're good to go.
Awesome. We'll see you very soon then.
Well, thank you so much and have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Take care. I got to go clean my shoes now, so we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
And the rug.